Plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/realid or visit your local DMV.
All right, let's dive into another deep dive. This time, we're tackling the 2025 College Football National Championship. The Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And let me tell you, this matchup had the entire country buzzing.
It really did. I mean, the amount of searches, the questions we saw, it's clear this game was a total phenomenon.
Yeah, everyone wanted to know about this game. So let's break down exactly what people were searching for and see what insights we can uncover.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, first things first. Where could people even watch this epic showdown? We noticed a ton of searches related to where to watch, what channel, the basics.
And of course, ESPN was a huge keyword.
Yeah, ESPN's the go-to for these big games.
It is, but here's the thing. We also saw a significant spike in searches for streaming services.
Well, that's interesting. So it wasn't just about traditional cable and satellite anymore.
Exactly. People are finding new ways to watch.
Which makes sense. It's 2025, after all.
Right.
Streaming is king, so we know where people were watching. But the real question, the one everyone's dying to know, is who won?
Yeah, that's the big one.
And trust me, we have that answer buried in our search data.
Oh, we definitely do.
But before we spill the beans, let's take a look at what else people were curious about, besides just the final score.
Okay, so beyond those obvious who won and score searches, we saw a huge spike in searches for match player stats.
Match player stats, huh?
Yeah. People weren't just content with knowing the outcome. They wanted to dive deeper, analyze the individual performances.
Right. See who really shined.
Exactly.
And speaking of shining, we saw a ton of searches for specific players. On the Ohio State side, names like Cardale Jones, JT Tumolo, and Jaden Fielding were super popular. And for Notre Dame, people were looking up Cody Simon, Xavier Watts, even some legendary alumni like A.J. Hawk and Bobby Carpenter popped up.
Wow, even the alumni.
Yeah. It seems like people wanted to know how the current players stacked up against the legends.
That's cool. It's not just about individual players either. We also saw a lot of interest in the coaching matchup. Searches for Notre Dame head coach and Ohio State head coach were through the roof.
Oh, so people were curious about the strategic minds behind these teams.
Definitely. They wanted to understand the coaching styles, the play calling, how those decisions impacted the game.
It's like they were trying to get inside the coaches' heads, see the game through their eyes.
Exactly.
But let's not forget, this game wasn't just some random matchup. This was Ohio State versus Notre Dame, a rivalry that goes way back.
Oh, yeah. One of the most intense rivalries in college football history.
Absolutely, and we saw that reflected in the search data. People were digging deep into the history of this matchup, looking up past scores, key moments.
I bet there were a lot of searches for Ohio State-Notre Dame game.
Oh, tons of them. And you know what else was interesting?
What's that?
A lot of those historical searches focused on Notre Dame's championship history. Specifically, people were looking up last time Notre Dame won a national championship.
Sounds like they were placing this game in a larger context, thinking about Notre Dame's quest to reclaim their former glory.
Right.
Makes sense. They haven't won a championship in a while. This was their chance.
That's a huge opportunity for them. And speaking of opportunities, let's talk about the venue. Because Mercedes-Benz Stadium played a big role in this game.
Oh, yeah. That's a state-of-the-art facility. And Atlanta's a great city for a championship game.
For sure. And we saw that reflected in the searches. People wanted to know, where's the national championship game? They were searching for Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
They wanted to visualize the stage where this whole drama would unfold.
Exactly. And let me tell you, it was a pretty dramatic ending.
Oh, yeah.
Because believe it or not, the game came down to the wire.
No way.
Yeah. And to understand why, we need to talk about a certain Ohio State player. A player who became the center of attention after the game.
Okay, you've got me hooked. Who are we talking about?
Well, let's just say, searches for Ohio State kicker went through the roof after the final whistle blew.
The kicker. Wow. That's interesting.
It is. And it tells us a lot about how this game played out.
All right. Now I'm really dying to know who won.
Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because in part 2 of our deep dive, we're going to reveal the winner and break down exactly how this epic championship game unfolded.
I can't wait.
Me neither. So stay tuned.
All right. So Are you ready to find out who won the 2025 College Football National Championship?
Oh, absolutely. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Well, drum roll, please. The Ohio State Buckeyes took home the trophy, defeating the Notre Dame Fighting Irish with a final score of 31-28.
31-28. Wow.
That's a close one.
It really was a true nail-biter. As we hinted at before, the game came down to the very last second.
So that explains all the searches for Ohio State kicker.
Exactly. Jaden Fielding, he was the hero of the hour, nailing that game-winning field goal.
Oh, man. Can you imagine the pressure? A national championship on the line?
I know. It's incredible.
And to do it against Notre Dame, a team known for their comebacks? That's got to be a moment Fielding will never forget. Oh, for sure. A true legacy-defining moment.
Absolutely. It's moments like these that make sports so captivating.
You got it. The drama, the unpredictability. It's an emotional roller coaster.
And speaking of diving deeper, we noticed a lot of people were searching for match player stats. They weren't satisfied with just knowing the outcome.
Right. They wanted to analyze those individual performances, really break down how the game unfolded.
And one stat that stood out to me was completion percentage. Seems like it played a key role in Ohio State's offensive strategy.
It definitely did. Cardale Jones, Ohio State's quarterback, he had an exceptional completion percentage throughout the entire game.
So he was connecting with his receivers.
Yeah.
Keeping those drives alive.
Exactly. It wasn't just about big plays or touchdowns. It was about consistency, controlling the tempo of the game.
And that consistency, it put a lot of pressure on Notre Dame's defense.
Oh, yeah. They had to be on their toes the whole time.
It's amazing how one stat can tell such a compelling story.
It really is.
And speaking of stories, we can't ignore the historical significance of this rivalry.
Ohio State versus Notre Dame, it's a clash of titans.
Two legendary programs with passionate fan bases.
And those fans, they were digging deep into the history books.
Oh, yeah. We saw searches for past matchups, iconic moments. People wanted to know where this game fit into the larger narrative of this rivalry.
You wanted to understand the legacy.
Exactly.
And you know what else caught my eye?
What's that?
All the searches for Touchdown Jesus.
Ah, yes. The iconic statue that overlooks Notre Dame Stadium.
It's more than just a statue, though. It's a symbol of faith, of tradition, of Notre Dame football.
It adds another layer of meaning to every game played there.
For sure. And speaking of layers, let's not forget about the venue itself, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That played a role in shaping the experience, too.
It's a fantastic stadium.
State-of-the-art, with an incredible fan experience.
And Atlanta is a city with a rich football history.
It all came together to create a perfect backdrop for this championship game.
And of course, we can't talk about a game like this without mentioning the coaches.
The masterminds behind it all.
We saw a lot of searches for both the Notre Dame head coach and the Ohio State head coach.
People wanted to know their strategies, their philosophies.
They wanted to understand the chess match happening on the sidelines.
Exactly.
And let's not forget about the players.
Ones who brought this game to life.
Names like Cardale Jones, JT Twimolo, Jaden Fielding, and on the Notre Dame side, Cody Simon, Gazier Watts, even some of those legendary alumni we talked about.
It's like people were creating their own personal highlight reels.
Focusing on the players who capture their imagination.
And those players, they all contribute to the rich tapestry of college football history.
They become part of the lore.
The legends that are passed down through generations of fans.
And this game, with all its drama and excitement.
It's added another unforgettable chapter to that history.
It has. But the story doesn't end here.
It doesn't. This victory for Ohio State, it raises an important question.
Oh. What's that?
How will this win shape the legacy of Ohio State football?
That is a good question.
Will it be a springboard to a new era of dominance? Or will it be the culmination of a particular chapter in their history?
I guess only time will tell.
That's the beauty of it.
The story is always unfolding.
And we're all eager to see what happens next.
Well, in part 3 of our deep dive, we're going to explore those implications a bit further for both Ohio State and Notre Dame. All right, so we've covered the game itself, the final score, the key players. But now I want to zoom out a little. Think about the bigger picture. How does this win impact Ohio State moving forward?
Right, that's the big question. And honestly, I think it has the potential to be a real turning point for them.
In what way?
Well, for starters, it adds to their already impressive championship legacy.
Yeah, they've got a pretty stacked trophy case as it is.
They do. And this win, against a tough opponent like Notre Dame, it really solidifies their position as a top program.
It sends a message.
It does. And it's not just about the number of championships. It's about the way they won this game.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought battle.
It was. They showed resilience, determination. They never gave up.
They earned that victory.
Exactly.
Speaking of earning it, we can't forget about the individual players who stepped up.
Right. Like Jaden Fielding. That game-winning field goal. Talk about a confidence booster.
Oh, yeah. That's a moment he'll carry with him for the rest of his career.
Absolutely. And it might even inspire future generations of Buckeyes.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see another clutch kick like that down the road.
Maybe so. And, it's not just about the players either. The coaching staff deserves a ton of credit.
We did see a lot of searches for Ohio State head coach.
Yeah. People want to know who's behind this success.
Who's the mastermind?
Right.
What are their strategies, their philosophies?
It's natural to be curious.
And, of course, we can't talk about Ohio State's future without mentioning recruiting.
Oh, yeah. A national championship is a huge recruiting tool.
Top talent is going to want to play for a winning program.
Exactly. This win makes Ohio State even more attractive to potential recruits.
So it's like a ripple effect. This victory could have positive consequences for years to come.
I think so. But, while we're focused on Ohio State, we can't forget about Notre Dame.
Right. They may not have won the championship, but they put up a heck of a fight.
They did, and I think that deserves some recognition.
Absolutely. They pushed Ohio State to the limit.
And, I saw some searches for Notre Dame head coach after the game.
Oh, yeah. What are people looking for?
I think they were curious about what adjustments might be made, how the team will respond to this loss.
It's those close losses. They can really fuel a team's fire.
Exactly. They might come back even stronger next season.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
That's the beauty of college football.
You never know what's going to happen next.
Every season is a new chapter.
With new challenges.
New triumphs.
And new stories to be told.
That's why we love it.
It's unpredictable.
It's exciting.
And it always keeps us on the edge of our seats.
Well said.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's safe to say, the 2025 College Football National Championship was a game for the ages.
It was. A true clash of titans.
And whether you're an Ohio State fan or a Notre Dame fan, I think we can all agree this game will be remembered for years to come.
I think so too.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with another look at what's trending online.
Until next time.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.